Your code has a home, your computer is ready, now your app needs a database. In step 3 of building a real web app with AI, we set up Supabase, a database that scales from your first user to 100,000 without having to re-engineer anything. Same backend I use for SiteScan. Let's go. Supabase is your database that lives in the cloud. Your app talks to it for storing data, handling logins, and serving information to users. It runs Postgres, same database that powers a huge chunk of the modern web, wrapped with developer-friendly tools. If you've heard of Firebase, this is similar but built on standard Postgres, so you're not locked into one company. And here's the thing I love about it, that it can grow with your project no matter how big it gets. 100,000 users or more, Supabase scales with you. You don't outgrow it, you don't have to migrate to something else later, and that really matters. Let's sign up for Supabase and create your first project. Head on over to supabase.com, click Start Your Project. Now, you already have a GitHub account. This is the reason we started with GitHub. It makes it easy for signing up for all of these systems. Just click Continue with GitHub. Now, you can use your email if you want to. I'm going to use GitHub. I'm already logged in, so I'm going to just, if you weren't, you would log in, and I'm going to authorize Supabase. Okay, now we're inside. So let's put in a name. I'm going to give the name the same as everything else that I have on GitHub. My first project. Pick whatever makes sense. We're going to say company. We'll say 1 to 10. And we're going to start out as a free tier. Free tier gives you 500 megabytes of a database, a gigabyte of storage, file storage, 2 gigs of bandwidth, and up to 50,000 monthly active users, and 2 projects. More than enough to get you started. When you outgrow that, obviously you can upgrade to a paid tier, and it's very inexpensive. We can cover that in another video. Click Create Organization. So let's connect GitHub. This will be helpful. We're going to connect to our GitHub account. We're going to authorize, and we're going to allow it to install all of them. Okay, so now I'm on the project setup. I noticed that I created my organization name as my project name. I can go fix that later. Okay. I connected GitHub, and it makes it ideal for just managing your workflows. My project name is my first project. Make sure you generate a secure password. This is very important. You want a strong password. Supabase has a button to generate that. Click the generate password here and make sure that you copy this and store it somewhere secure. A password manager, a note, wherever you keep important things. Don't reuse this password from somewhere else. Don't lose it. If you lose access to this database, recovery is a hassle. So take a few seconds here and make sure that you put that somewhere safe. Region, pick the region that is closest to you. I'm going to stick with this. Let's see. I'm going to pick this as closest to where I am. We're going to take the defaults here, and I think everything's good. Click Create New Project. Okay, so we set up our new Supabase account, and we created our first project. I need to go back and change my organization name. Let's go change that organization name now. So if I click here, this is my organization, this is my project. So if I click on organization and I scroll down here to the left-hand side, you'll have organization settings, and here's my organization name. I'm going to call myself the Solo Builder. Click Save. Perfect. So now you can see the Solo Builder is the name, and here are all my projects. Okay. And I can click this to get back where we were. All right, perfect. So now the next step is, let me just give you a little tour. This is where your data lives. Right now there's nothing here. We'll add tables in the next video. Authentication. User signups and logins handled automatically. Email, authentication, magic links, all built into the system. Storage, file uploads, images, documents, anything the user needs to store will be here. SQL editor. If you know SQL, you can run queries directly here. If you don't, Codex can write them for you, and this is where you will put them and then run them. And APIs, which will be important, which you will need, go to Project Settings, and then you'll get a secondary menu here. You want to scroll to API Keys, and this is where your API keys are. So a couple of things to note on this tab here. This key will be used, and this one in your project. This is what your app will use to talk to Supabase. We want to make sure that when we're ready, we'll copy them somewhere safe. Talk about that in more detail in our next video. The service role key is more powerful. Never put it in your front-end code. That's server side only. We'll get into the details when we're ready to use it. One more thing, if you go back to the project overview, this project URL that you see here, you want to copy that. That is also going to be used in your app when we're talking to Supabase. Again, we'll cover these things in more detail in the next video.
Supabase is set up. Real database in the cloud, ready to power your app. Next, we let AI actually build the app. You'll watch Codex design tables, write SQL, and build the front end in one prompt. All 5 videos, tools, and the companion page linked below. I'm Ed, the solo builder. See you in step 4.